Hey everyone, welcome back to Two of Cups Tarot Talk. I'm Lavender Moon, tea drinker, moon lover, and professional deck shuffler.
And I'm Pisces Moonflower, resident mystic, intuitive fish, and your co-pilot on today's cosmic journey.
Today we are opening the veil and stepping into the mysterious, magical realm of the High Priestess. She's basically the tarot card equivalent of that wise aunt who sees through all your nonsense, says one cryptic sentence, and then disappears into a velvet curtain.
Yes, she's literally the I know what you did last retrograde energy. The moment she shows up in a reading, it's like, oh no, I can't lie to myself anymore.
So, for those new to tarot or just now meeting her mysteriousness, the High Priestess is all about intuition, inner knowing, and secrets. Not in a shady way, but in a truth is revealed when you're ready kind of a way.
She's the part of you that knows your ex is going to text right when Mercury goes retrograde, and you're already charging your phone for it.
Right? She's the calm in the chaos. When the outside world is a mess, the High Priestess says, go inward, trust yourself. Oh, and maybe stop doom scrolling.
Let's break down her look. She's sitting between two pillars labeled Boaz and Joachim. Classic black and white duality. It's giving I balance my light and shadow with style.
She's got that scroll-marked Torah, which people love to debate over. Is it divine law, a scroll of secret knowledge, her personal manifestation journal? No one knows.
And let's not forget the moon at her feet. She's literally grounded in intuition. Meanwhile, I trip over cracks in the sidewalk, so she's clearly evolved.
She wears a headdress of the triple moon. It's based on the crown worn by the Egyptian goddess Hathor, or Isis, symbolizing divine feminine, wisdom, and lunar energy. It's like wearing your third eye as a fashion statement.
Now, look at the tapestry behind her. Pomegranates everywhere. Classical symbol of fertility and hidden knowledge. It's a nod to Persephone, which makes the High Priestess a kind of gatekeeper between this world and the next.
And here's my favorite part. There's no roof above her. The High Priestess sits beneath the open sky. That's the tarot's way of saying there are no limits to what you can access if you trust yourself.
The whole card screams, tune in. It's not about action. It's about alignment.
So what happens when she shows up in a reading?
It's like getting a spiritual, shh, slow down. Stop asking 5 people for advice when your gut already knows the answer.
Or maybe you're not supposed to know everything yet. Some truths are on a need-to-know basis, and the High Priestess decides when you're ready. And spoiler, she's not on your deadline.
She's the ultimate spiritual bouncer. If the vibes are off, she's not letting the info in.
Now, what if she shows up reversed?
Oof. She's still powerful, but it's like having static in your psychic signal. Reversed High Priestess can mean you're ignoring your intuition or doubting it, or there may be secrets you're not seeing clearly.
It can also be a gentle nudge to stop oversharing. Maybe not everyone needs to know your plans just yet.
Sometimes mystery is protection. Keep that in your back pocket.
Looking for clarity, guidance, or a little cosmic confirmation? Book a psychic tarot reading with Lavender Moon. Intuitive, experienced, and ready to help you tap into the wisdom of the cards. Whether you're navigating a life crossroads, curious about love, or just want to check in with the universe, Lavender Moon's readings are personalized, insightful, and heart-centered. And if the energy is right, you may be able to receive messages from your loved ones in spirit. Available for virtual sessions, phone readings, and live events throughout Arizona. Visit lavendermoonpsychicllc.com to schedule your session today and step into your next chapter with a little guidance from the stars. Lavender Moon Psychic, bringing light to your path with love and insight. Your future is waiting. Let's read it.
All right, so tonight we're stepping into sacred silence, deep waters, and big intuitive vibes. So let's get some examples of this High Priestess energy, this sacred silence and deep waters and big intuitive vibes. She's stillness beneath the surface, the dream before the decision, the voice that whispers, you already know.
Yes, she's the one who doesn't shout about her power. She just is. She's intuition, inner knowing, mystery, dreams, the sacred. No one can touch this kind of energy.
She's the friend who stares at you silently for 3 seconds and says, are you sure that's your gut talking and not your fear? And she's exactly right every time.
So true. High Priestess characters don't chase, they attract. They don't need to prove anything. They're just plugged in to the deep knowing, and the world sort of rearranges around them.
So let's go through some quick traits of High Priestess characters. If you're trying to spot her in your favorite stories, look for the character who operates from intuition and not from logic, who's quiet but intense, has deep spiritual or emotional wisdom, sees things that others miss, often works behind the scenes, guards secrets or sacred knowledge, and feels like they've got one foot in this world and one foot in the spiritual realm.
Bonus points if they say creepy things like, "I dreamed this would happen," and you believe them, or they disappear into fog after giving you life advice.
Let's start with Galadriel. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but she's a classic and a literal elven high priestess. From Lord of the Rings, she glows with ancient wisdom and knows what's coming before it happens.
And she can see into your soul. Frodo offers her the ring, and she's like, "I would become a queen, dark and terrible as the dawn." But she chooses not to. That's power held in restraint. Very priestess. Let's talk about Luna Lovegood now. You know who's soft priestess energy? That's her. People underestimate her, but she's seeing things no one else even knows exist.
She believes in things like nargles and thestrals and emotional frequencies. She's dreamy, but not delusional. Her magic is just more intuitive and quiet and always spot on.
Exactly. She's tuned into the vibe no one else even notices playing.
And then we have Vanessa Ives from Penny Dreadful. She's like the High Priestess turned all the way up. Prophetic dreams, speaking in tongues, shadow possession. She's just haunted and holy all at once.
And she's so still when she's powerful. You feel it building behind her eyes. That's the thing with High Priestess characters. They don't need big moves. Their presence is the power. Let's move on to one of my favorite genres, the Addams Family, and talk about Morticia Addams. She is the High Priestess with pearls. She glides into a room, says one thing, and you're spiritually aligned. Let me clarify, though. She is the High Priestess with black pearls.
Her love language is silent judgment and moonlight rituals. She's never flustered, ever. She's so emotionally in tune with everyone around her. Morticia knows. So, shadow side incoming, Nina from the Black Swan starts off trying to live by logic and perfectionism, but her intuition keeps breaking through. Her dreams, her shadow self, her body, everything is screaming for release.
And she doesn't listen. So it takes her over. She spirals, repressed priestess becomes unhinged priestess. It's not cute, but it's real. Let's talk about Morgan Le Fay. Because she is peak High Priestess, mystical, powerful, and always works in the liminal spaces.
Yeah, she's often cast as this ambiguous sorceress, sometimes healer, sometimes manipulator, sometimes both. But underneath all of it, she's connected to ancient knowledge, magic, and deep feminine power.
She's not your frontline warrior. That's not her style. She's behind the scenes, pulling strings, guiding fates, and guarding sacred mysteries. Very veiled, very intuitive. Very, you'll find out when you're ready.
And depending on the retelling, she's either a misunderstood priestess trying to restore balance, or a woman scorned who's weaponized her vision. Either way, she holds serious High Priestess energy.
Plus, she's a priestess of Avalon in a lot of stories, which ties her directly to lunar cycles, the divine feminine, and the whole idea of initiation through mystery.
Exactly. Morgan Le Fay isn't here to play nice. She's here to awaken, disrupt, and reflect your truth back at you, whether you like it or not.
Let's talk Circe. She's exiled, misunderstood. She learns to live with solitude, nature, divinity, and eventually sovereignty.
Yes. Her power isn't fireballs. It's her quiet resistance. In her rituals, in her story, she owns the liminal space and rewrites herself from the inside out. And then we have Melisandre from Game of Thrones. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Not really a Game of Thrones person, but she is kind of like the High Priestess, was totally convinced she was never wrong.
She's got the visions, the rituals, the sacred fire, but she forgets humility. She becomes more oracle than vessel, which flips her priestess into ego mode.
When the priestess gets too sure of herself, she stops listening, and that's when her magic turns toxic.
Another favorite, the Oracle from The Matrix. She literally knows everything, but she only tells you what you're ready to hear.
She's baking cookies, sipping tea, and casually guiding people through existential awakenings. That's High Priestess in sweatpants energy. Casual wisdom, no flash, just depth. Okay, if we're talking musicians, Stevie Nicks, period.
She's the walking embodiment of the High Priestess. Dreamy, mysterious, cloaked in lace, and always just a little bit in between. Her lyrics feel like channeling.
Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night. Yes, ma'am, that's not a lyric, that's a spell.
Let's add Lana Del Rey to the mix. She's modern High Priestess. Melancholy, elusive, symbolic. Her music is basically a velvet diary of full moon tears and glamour spells.
She knows exactly how to cast an image, an emotion, a moment, and she leaves you wondering if she's blessing you or hexing you or both. Something important. High Priestess energy isn't always soft. It can be cold, detached, unreadable. Think Shadow High Priestess, when people withhold, manipulate with silence, or retreat too far inward.
Yep. It's that I'm not telling you vibe that's either mystical or maddening. You don't always know if you're being guided or ghosted.
But that's also the beauty. She teaches us to sit with uncertainty, to trust the gut when the facts are fuzzy, to listen deeper and to slow down.
She reminds us that we don't have to do anything all the time. Sometimes the most powerful thing is to receive, to dream, to know without needing to explain it.
So if you're listening and you've ever been told you're too quiet, too sensitive, too dreamy, you might just be someone else's High Priestess.
Or actually your own, which is even better. So how do we live the High Priestess energy?
You meditate, you journal, you dream and daydream. You trust that weird vibe and you leave the party early.
You honor your inner no. And yes, no is a full sentence, even when your logical brain is trying to say yes.
You let the silence be your sanctuary. She's not about rushing or proving. She's about receiving. So let's get hands-on and make some magic. You can literally hold and sip. We're talking about a High Priestess dream sachet to invite deep intuition and sacred dreams.
Here's what you'll need. A small fabric pouch, dried mugwort, lavender, violet petals, and a tiny moonstone or amethyst crystal. Bonus points if you've got jasmine or ylang-ylang essential oil for that dreamy mystical scent.
Start by mixing about a tablespoon each of the mugwort, lavender, and violet petals. Pop that crystal inside your pouch, then fill it with your herb blend. If you want to add 1 to 2 drops of essential oil for extra magic, now's the time. Tie it up tight, hold it in your hands, and visualize the moonlight charging it with intuitive energy.
Keep your sachet under your pillow or on your nightstand. It's like having your own pocket-sized oracle whispering secrets while you sleep.
But wait, there's more. How about a High Priestess herbal tea blend to sip while you tune into your inner oracle? Mix 1 teaspoon each of mugwort, lavender, and violet petals. Steep for 5 to 7 minutes, strain, and add honey or vanilla if you like your tea to be a little sweeter and softer.
Sip slowly in a quiet spot, setting the intention to open your intuition and quiet mental noise. Trust me, it's a vibe.
And here's a little ritual to pull it all together. Dim the lights, light a silver or white candle, and call on the moon and your inner wisdom. Hold your sachet or a crystal, sip your tea mindfully, and take a moment to meditate or journal any messages or symbols that come through.
Then thank the moon and your guides, blow out the candle, and step back into your day with a little more mystery and a lot more trust in your gut.
So listeners, when the High Priestess shows up, remember, sometimes the best magic happens when you slow down, listen, and trust the secrets only you can hear.
Now, who's ready to dream big and sip deep? Okay, listeners, here's your challenge for the week. Spend 10 minutes with no distractions, just you, your thoughts, and maybe your favorite oracle deck if you need backup.
And if a deep truth surfaces, like maybe you do want bangs, remember, the High Priestess supports your journey even if your hairstylist doesn't.
Tag us at 2_of_cups_tarot_talk and share how the High Priestess has shown up in your life. Mysterious dreams, gut instincts that proved right. Tell us.
The High Priestess reminds us that some of the best answers don't come from the outside. They come from within, usually while you're in the shower.
Trust your inner voice. She's wiser than you think and definitely sassier.
We're going to be posting some extras on the Instagram. You can get the grimoire pages, tea recipe, and spell instructions. And we also have started a blog. We'll put the link
in the About section.
The plan is to share some more tarot-related goodies and quizzes and journal prompts and way more ways that you can be interactive with both us and the tarot.
Thanks for listening to Two of Cups Tarot Talk.
See you next time.